Well, hello out there. Good evening. It's 6:27, almost 6:28. We're a little bit early. I was looking at a computer, and that said it was 6:29, so I wanted to make sure we got out here early tonight. And boy, oh boy, we've been going, haven't we, Judy?
Yeah, we've been going all right. That's right. And we're still going.
Yeah, we're still going, and it's sure a lot of fun. And, you know, we're watching things move up, and we're really excited about that. We're just excited about everything that everybody's done for us today. And
Really.
I know that there's some people that are going to be extremely excited. We've got a great guest here, two of them tonight, and we are excited to have them, are we not?
We are. Special guest tonight, so hang on here.
All righty, and Judy, I'm going to let you take care of the microphone as we call them in. Is that good for you?
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Lynn?
Lynn Rogers, come on over.
Lynn.
And Donna.
My beautiful wife of yours, Donna.
Bring your lady.
There they are. Okay. You can take a seat here. Okay. Yes. This is nice.
Well, I'll kind of start out here. You know, Doc, you were here earlier this morning, bright and chipper, and kicking things off around 8:30 this morning, and we've been at it all day. And we just kind of want to have some thoughts about, you know, the day, you know, kind of what's going on with your thoughts. You know, there's your audience right there.
Yeah.
So you have an opportunity.
Well, the first thing
There we go.
and we discovered that you have to hold the microphone 4 inches away. And has anybody got a tape? Yeah, because if it's a foot away, it's a little hard to hear. 4 inches away is right. So you remember that, okay? And we just had a shock just now. Looking at the leaderboard, all of a sudden we went from 37,000 to 106,000. It's a mistake. So, yeah, I was like, what the heck? But then the number of donors, which must have been like 600 and some, tripled to almost 1,800. And so, but the thing that's amazing, I mean, that the number of donations, 600 or so, really, it shows that people are trying to get us that golden ticket. Yeah. And last year we got 2. This year we just haven't been drawn.
Yeah, that happened.
Boy,
We still got chances.
We got chances. A few left. Yep.
Yeah.
But honey, they want to hear you, and they want to hear stories about us canoeing, us with bears, the kids with bears, how the kids grew up, facing danger all the time, but nothing ever happened. Yep, yeah. So, here, let me give this to Scott.
Well, I thought Donna was going to tell some stories, but I've got the microphone now, and yeah, that's about right. But wait a minute, with my kind of voice, you don't need it that close usually, you know. 4 inches for me, too. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're being able to be heard, and we really do want to. But, you know, I'm excited to have Donna here. I mean, and Lynn, I'm always excited to have you guys around. They're just fun. I don't think, Donna, I've ever seen you not with a smile. You're always smiling. And I mean that. You really are.
I'm happy life is good. I'm happy life is good. Listening to Lynn tell his numbers, I've been gone for 4 or 5 days, and I called him, and the first thing he said, the odometer says 777, 777, some other sevens. I said, that's the most important thing that you have to say to me after 4 days? Okay, so that's how life has been. Anyway, what would you like to know about bears?
I guess I'd like to know. I guess I'd like to know. I'm really sorry. I'm a little punchy. You know, we've been up since 10:30. You know, last night. Yeah, and you know what Lynn says about your life experiences are sure neat. I fought some of those things with you too. I always thought no. In fact, I asked your girls once. I said, "So, what was it like growing up with a bear man dad?" And then I thought about you, and it's like, what was it like with growing up with a bear man husband? And then I thought, well, my wife thinks I'm kind of a bear sometimes too, but not a real one like Lynn. I know he's out in the woods a lot. Am I correct?
Yes, he is out a lot, and he loves what he does. He has this unique ability to know the ecology of not just bears, but everything out in the woods. And I always said my favorite thing to do was to drive with him on the highway, and he would have something to say about every section. There'd be a bird on a post or something flying, or there'd be something crawling, and he would know what's going on, why it's there, what it's doing. It was so much fun when we would drive and hear the stories, and I remember that.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just neat stuff, isn't it? I mean, when you take back, when you look back on your lives, and you think, gee, you worked hard, like any one of us, when you work hard, sometimes you don't see each other as much as you'd like to, and it's because you're putting a lot of effort and a lot of time in different things, but you seem just so patient and so happy. It's really neat.
That's funny. So, well, for this recording, I'll agree with that. But when this is off the air, so. But yeah, I don't want anyone to miss this. So, but anyway, getting back to bears, I think the North American Bear Center is so packed full of information, and it's information that's been locked in his head for so long. And when he partnered with Sue, who is an excellent videographer and also tracking person, that then together they did such an outstanding job that it is so wonderful. I think if someone hasn't been here to see it, they really need to come. And I only say that because I think it is really so accessible to everyone. The handicapped accessible, and you can learn in many different ways. You can touch things, you can see things, you can hear things, and it's easy to get around. Everyone can see the live bears and from a very good position, and it's just so unique that I wish everyone could see how wonderful it is. And I think about the Ecology Center that's opening, and I'm really looking forward to that because I know who's doing some of the dioramas, and it should be just spectacular. So that's what I have to say about bears. I mean, I could tell about the kids growing up, and growing up with Lynn, not anything to do with bears. The adventures he's taken them on has. I don't know if you need patience for that. You just need to probably just go do something else to get your mind off what's going on, because he's done things with them that I don't know if other kids have done that, like walking under the culverts under the streets of Ely. I mean, that just seems kind of germy to me, but anyway, I think they finally shut off the opening to that. So after the kids gave a report in school about it, so I just always wondered what the teachers thought. But anyway, wasn't my idea, but the kids loved it. It was a lot of fun, and they knew where they were under. Oh, we're under the Moose now, and we're under, the different buildings in town. And anyway, so things like that happened, and then also going out on bogs. Floating bogs, they would identify the plants and the critters on the bog. They just love that, and checking out butterflies and everything on the that grows, lives, moves. They love that and still do. They still, when they go out, they try to teach their kids now all the things that they've learned.
Wow, that's pretty neat. It is unique. It is very unique. I can't say that I've ever taken my daughters underneath the town of Ely. Literally, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. But I remember a story from one of your daughters. I can't remember which one it was. And I asked her about being you being their dad. And she said, she says, it's really cool is if I wanted to find a certain type of salamander, he would find it. Just boom, there it was. Wow. So, I mean, pretty amazing. But, I got to tell you, if you haven't been to the North American Bear Center, and you pull in the summertime, and she's extremely humble and so kind. But I'm going to tell you, she keeps this place beautiful. And I'm going to give you credit for that, with the flowers and the entrance, with just the way things are laid out. And she puts a lot of care and a lot of work into it. And it's noticed, Donna. You do a wonderful job with that stuff. And I'm going to tell you personally, she had a kick-butt garden at her house. It was beautiful. And I was looking at that garden one morning waiting for Lynn, and I'm like, wow, that's really, really a nice vegetable garden. She had that thing labeled perfect. Am I right?
I did label them this year very well.
Yes.
Thank you.
And how about your gardens out front? Tell them what care you put into that.
In front of the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work because I had never planted a flower before. I had to look online at what grows and what deer eat and what's good for butterflies, bees, trying to find seeds that are good for the butterflies and bees and all the critters that land on flowers. That's quite a challenge, and it's hard to find them sometimes, and keeping things alive. And pardon me? Oh, so yes, I have enjoyed doing it, but it is a lot of work because you have to get the seeds started early and then keep them alive until winter's finally gone, and then put them into the garden. And anybody that gardens knows what a challenge that is. So fortunately, it's worked out pretty well, and I'm thankful that it has.
So every spring, she takes over the house with all the flowers. They're on all the tables in front of all the windows, and with lights on some of them, just trying to get things started to have it pretty out here. And one other story that I remember, this one I'll never forget. With a month to go before we're going to open in 2007, this spot where we're sitting right now was under several inches of water. When the snow melted, it came in the door rather than going past the door, and it filled this place up with several inches of water. We had to replace a lot of tile that just came loose. And so that night, Donna stayed up with me all night as you were up all night. Oh, she was up all night.
You left at, I forget what time it was. You left at midnight or 1. I forget.
Came back at 3.
No, I think you came back later. I forget the timing of it, but I know being here alone, mopping up the floor, trying to save the exhibits, and then you came back at some time because you had to bring more buckets too.
Yeah. So that's even a better story than I would have told. How I just was exhausted, and Donna stayed the rest of the night scooping stuff up, vacuuming buckets into the sink, and so thank you, honey.
I ruined your story. I'm sorry.
They got some pretty unique stories, and I'm going to ask permission to tell one about Lynn and how romantic he can be, because I know that last week I think Donna had a birthday. Am I correct, Donna? Was it last week?
Yeah.
And Lynn said, he says, I'm going to take Donna out to eat again. And I said, wow. I said, that's like 3 times in a row, Lynn. And he's like, yep. And he goes, well, I got to go. And when Lynn's got to go, he's got to go. He's like, got to go. I got to go get Donna. And away he went. And later on that day, I said, well, take her somewhere, fun and nice. And later on, I said, hey, Lynn, so how did the birthday dinner go with Donna? Lynn, would you mind telling that little story?
Oh, so was that the one where we went to Dairy Queen, the drive-through in Dairy Queen to take her out for lunch? This is one where we went to the deli in Zups because I wanted to get catfish, and she wanted soup, so she bought some soup off the shelves, and we went home to eat it. But the nice thing was, well, I'm such a dud. What did we do, honey? We went home and took a nap.
But we all have our ways and times of spending time with each other and memorable moments. We really do. And when you look back, those things they're fun. I mean, they just are. And I think you two are a very unique, really neat couple. I really do. And I'll tell you, without you guys, this place wouldn't be here. WRI wouldn't be where it's at today. You've both put a lot of work and a lot of effort into this. I don't think I'm wrong. I think everywhere I see around here, I see a bunch of love.
Yeah, the thing that I would just love to tell the world is I am so lucky that Donna, with all the risks that we took and stuff, she stood right by my side, made things happen, and so love you, honey.
What'd you just say?
I said, love you too.
See, that's nice. That's nice. And that's what it is.
And I'd like to say the staff here is so wonderful. I just want to put a nice compliment out to them because they have been so friendly and so efficient and so dedicated. I think it's a dedication that has been remarkable to me because it's not easy here. Just feeding the bears, taking care of them, and everything that has to be done. I am amazed at how well they do and how friendly they are and how friendly they are to me when I'm not here all the time. I'm outside a lot, so I don't see them so much.
I would really find it hard not to be friendly to you, Donna. I really would. How can you not be friendly to Donna? But again, I think that she speaks for all of us in the fact that in Lynn, that the place is so driven by everybody around it, and the team that's been created by these two over the years and others that have been instrumental in doing it. And I'm going to really let Lynn finish this one out and Donna because I think it's appropriate. And even though he made Judy and I work 24 hours, told us we had no choice, we really do love working for him. And so Donna didn't know that neither, but we didn't even get to eat at Zoop's. So I'm going to just give you, I'm joking, of course, but I'm going to let him finish. Here you go.
Well, speaking of this 24-hour marathon that you guys did, you got here, 10:30 last night? You go home about 1:30 in a few hours, and you're still smiling. Look, she's still got energy, and it's just amazing. It's just, and as far as Donna goes, a lot of people think I'm not that bright, and then they look at who I married, and then they realize I'm a genius. So, isn't that right, honey? Oh, well, don't answer.
Why did I get the mic? You want a minute for rebuttal?
Yeah, there's a rebuttal area.
Anyway, we're getting kind of silly now, so we'll probably anyway. I just want to say thank you very much I see how many donations you're all doing. You're trying to help us get the golden tickets. You're trying to make this place a success into the future. You're trying, and the stuff that Donna was talking about all the ecology and everything. This place is just gonna. People are gonna appreciate this area. They're gonna understand bears better with the animals that they interact with. And we would not be nearly this far if it hadn't been for all the help, financial, volunteering, sharing talents from Lily fans. So we, and in fact, there's going to be a bronze plaque in the new building thanking a couple big donors and Lily fans. That's what made it. So that's all I know. So thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you out there. Good night. Oh, we will be back in 45 minutes, though, right, Judy? Yeah, about 43 minutes. We'll be back. And then we'll be back an hour after that, an hour after that, an hour after that, and another hour after that. Okay. And then Lynn says we can finally go home. Okay. But not until then. So good night, everybody. We'll see you in about 42 minutes. Bye now.